Hi, my name is Marco Chen. I'm the technical director of Line Taiwan Engineering Office. I'm gonna share our experience of Agile development. We are the GLN product development team. Here is the agenda. I will give you a quick introduction of this project and the challenges we face it. To overcome these challenges, the solution we took is being Agile, the Scrum Methodology. Today, I'm not going to tell you the common practice in Scrum, like daily stand or planning meeting. What I want to share is the core value and the ground rule we built. That's the key to being Agile. The core values are team spirit, self-management, and self-development. The ground rules are methodology of communication, methodology of development. When talking about the methodology of development, my senior developer, Rita, will show you how we practice in trending service development. GLN, Global Line News, also known as Line Today, which is different from Line News Japan. It's a global product to be released in multiple countries. It's a whole new product. We have to build everything from scratch and release first version within 6 weeks. We call it fast track. Fast track was planned to be released in 5 countries, including Taiwan, Thailand, Indonesia, Myanmar, and USA. Each market has different requirements and long-term plan. Their business model are different from Line News Japan, so we could not adopt it directly. We have to create a new system, but at this moment, we have no idea about the business potential in each market. To validate and react to the changing markets, our management team decided to adopt Agile product lifecycle management. We plan to release fast track first, then analyze user behavior and validate business potential. If the result is good, we could move forward to regular track, which is the long-term product plan. So it's natively an Agile project, and we decide to take Agile methodology for the system development. We got many challenges. The first challenge is schedule. The schedule is tight. We got only 6 weeks to build fast track. We'd have to build everything from scratch, including product spec, system design, development, testing, and deployment. The second challenge is experience. Taiwan developers are newcomer to Line. When we got this assignment, we are just phoned up. We didn't experience with creating new products from scratch in this company. We don't know how and what kind of technology and process could be used. We don't know from whom we can get support or help. Besides, we have only a few soldiers, so we need developers also from Korea and China to join development. Therefore, Taiwan recruits will work with veterans from Korea and China remotely. The last challenge is communication. The communication is really complicated, just like this diagram. We have a product manager from Korea and Taiwan. We have designer from Korea in charge of the UI design. We also have a support team from Korea and Japan providing platform or infrastructures. So, just like this diagram, we have a complicated communication network across different countries, different language, and different roles. To overcome this challenge, the first idea came from my mind is Agile, the Scrum. We started the project from January, and we practiced Scrum. We did release fast track within 6 weeks, and then released regular track on time. Even though we got so many challenges, we still deliver everything on time with good quality. The business performance is also very good. We dominate Taiwan, Thailand, and Indonesia market very quickly. The key factors to being agile are ground rules and core value we built. The ground rules are team spirit, self-management, self-development. The ground rules are methodology for communication and development. The core values are team spirit and self-management and self-development. Team spirit is the most important core value. All team members, including developers and planners, we share the same goal and ownership, which is to make GLN a successful product. Developers are also product owners. They want to make this product successful. So they both move forward to the same goal together. Here are the key principles to build team spirit. We follow up those principles in our daily life. The first principle is trust and commitment. Developers trust planner. They believe all requests from planner are meaningful. Planner got commitment from developers. They deliver everything on time with good quality. This is mental strength. It could help you to reduce conflict in your team. Conflict is always the obstacle to team performance. To build trust and commitment, managers should do nothing but just show the way. In this team, only developer can commit schedule. Manager just show direction and facilitate the team to reach agreement on their working plan. The final schedule is estimated and committed by all developers together. So the schedule is more reliable. They will try best to meet schedule because that's their commitment. As manager and Scrum Master, I just show the way. I help them to find creative idea by sharing my experience. Then we analyze pros and cons together, and developer decide the final solution. This is very important practice because manager is not always right. There is no perfect solution. What a leader should do is to develop their skill to find best solution for their own commitment. Engineer manager in the Agile team should be catalyst, but not commander. I just share my experience, how I resolved the same problem before, and I encourage them to find more creative idea by themselves. I call this principle the 4 Ws. I always keep it in my mind and practice in my daily life. This is a very important principle. What, why, how, and when. Each time when planner start to introduce new feature or change request, I always ask planner to explain why it is important. Then I facilitate developer to tell how to accomplish and how much time they need. It's all about convincement. Planner convince developer by what to do and why it is important. Developer convince planner by how to do and when to deliver. A Scrum team cannot build trust and commitment if the 4 Ws doesn't exist in their daily conversation, even though they have all kind Scrum exercise. The text breakdown exercise in Scrum is a good practice for developer to tell how and when. It also helps developer to learn from each other. During the text breakdown exercise, planner can be aware of why developer needs so much time. Planner might not understand the detail, but it's very important for planner to feel the same pain point from developers. The second core value, self-management and self-development. To make this happen, I try to facilitate developers to look at the future. In this team, we never ask developer to commit user story they just see for the first time. Planner always explain user story 1 or more sprint earlier. In planning meeting 1, we focus on introducing new user story from to-do list. In planning meeting 2, developers pick up and commit user story that they already know how to work on. So our developers always have technical investigation in advance and prepare for the working plan. We exercise king servant model. Each developer could be king or servant of a user story. Story king must lead and coordinate the working detail to make this user story done. Servant follows king's working plan to finish user story together. King has to be responsible for quality and on-time delivery, and the bug rate is the indicator of quality. How many times being a story king is also his personal performance indicator. So this become a driver, driving developer to improve and develop himself. In daily stand meeting, it's also an important timing to facilitate the developer to look at the future, but not just update their daily progress. So I mainly focus on asking them who will carry over the task you just finished. This could help them to maintain their working model and connection until they can do self-management. In live demo, Story King must prepare and give demo even for engineering tasks, like, for example, a backend API or test automation. King has to explain his code structure and design concept, then run test automation and show performance metrics. Other members can give comments and suggestions. They can improve their personal skill by learning from each other during the discussion. In retrospective meeting, the team will find out at least 1 to 2 items to be improved from next sprint. I just coach and facilitate the team to prioritize their to-do list, but not order them to do something. When I have technical strategy for them to follow, I explain and convince them by why it's important. Usually, they are convinced and put it into high priority. With those practices I just shared, they can do self-management and self-development. Core value is mental strength. By the way, we also need methodology for communication and development. We have very complicated communication network. So, to simplify the communication effort, we define 2 models, the inner communication and outer communication. Planner is the only contact window for stakeholders and developers. Developers don't need to get in touch with stakeholders. We have 3 planners. One from Taiwan is the decision maker. This guy become the single source of truth. Developer communicate with this planner only. We also have a front-end engineer from Korea. Because of the time zone and language issue, it's impossible for them to join our daily practice. So we assign the only front-end engineer in Taiwan as a coordinator. And we allow Korea developer to work as a sub-team and let Taiwan and China engineer to work as the main team. The coordinators sync up the development detail between the main team and sub-team on daily basis. We use JIRA Scrum Board. The Scrum Board becomes the single source of truth. We organize and track development detail and from both planner and the developer perspective. So, planner can understand the schedule and the release plan. Developer can understand the implementation detail, both from the same Scrum Board. We have special tag in front of a story subject, just like this. It can help developer or viewer to understand the development scope at the first glance. We aggregate all information in JIRA, including spec change, working log, and the code commit log. It's convenient for members to sync up information to avoid misunderstanding. We also adopt several tools for communication in our daily life. Line chat is for non-technical conversation, and hip chat is helpful to developing topics, since it can be integrated with Wiki, JIRA, and our CI/CD flow. We have face-to-face conversation via video conference. In addition to talking, we also use diagram method to improve communication quality, especially for business or system logic. We draw UML diagrams with plain UML or Lucidchart. Both tools could be integrated with Wiki for collaborative editing environments. Plain UML is very easy to learn and use. It allows developers to focus on logic, but don't care about drawing. We adopt methodology for development. In addition to Scrum exercise, there are many other software engineering methodology like code review, unit test, GitHub flow, and such extra. To maintain quality, we adopt as much practice as we can. But we cannot fully define all practice from day one. Instead, we build up gradually. Just like what I mentioned, we always find 1 to 2 items from retrospective to be improved, and we follow up seriously. We have 4 major principles: reuse existing resource, continuous integration, continuous deployment, test automation, extensibility, and scalability. We don't create new components unless we have a strong reason. We reuse existing components or platform as possible as we can. We follow the modern software engineering practice like continuous integration, continuous deployment, and test automation. Anything could be tested automatically. We will do that. We also adopt cloud-based solution, since extensibility and scalability is our top 1 priority. Now, my team member Rita will give you an example how we build the major component trending service with those principles. Please welcome Rita.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rita, a backend developer in Global Line News project. In the following presentation, I'm going to use trending service as an example to describe our methodology of development. In regular track, we start to build up Line Today homepage. Local editors could pick news contents from multiple providers and publish them with suitable layout. User could read a variety of articles by categories. Aside from manually selected articles, we want to add some smart modules that could provide a quick preview of what are the popular contents among all users at this moment. That's what trending service is doing. The concept is that we provide real-time popular articles based on the analysis of different kinds of user behavior, such as read or comment on article. On the screen, you can see it's the most read and comment module in the article page. To meet the goal, here are the challenges we are facing. Our service component needs to process a huge amount of user action logs to generate popular articles. The system should be strong enough and should be highly extensible for increasing traffic. Also, we need to provide popular articles in real-time manner. While the logs keeps coming, we should regenerate the output based on the data in current time frame. The last and the trickiest one is that we want to keep our design flexible, so that could be easily adjusted for any trending logic update. The reason is that it's difficult to predict what is the most suitable algorithm and what are the missing factors that should be taken into consideration. In the following slide, I will first introduce our system architecture and describe how it meets our design guideline. Web service is our major component to collect user actions. To reduce the overhead, we put a queue as temporary storage. RabbitMQ provides high throughput and different level of persistency, which makes it a good candidate for our scenario. Trending service is our component to collect user action logs from queue and generate real-time popular articles. To keep the logic flexible, we maintain raw data instead of pre-aggregating them with basic rules. We rely on search engine to do the job. Elasticsearch is a powerful framework for real-time data analysis. It not only provides flexible query, but also supports really efficient write support by bulk API. With data ready, trending service will periodically generate popular articles and put the data in Redis. Web service will fetch the data from Redis and compose line web page with most up-to-date popular articles. Right now, I'm going to use an example to demonstrate how the team work together to solve a real issue and why flexible design matters. While our service is getting more and more popular, there are more and more spammers posting advertisements by commenting on articles. Our planners receive the concern from local office and decide to take immediate action. Firstly, we enable the spam detecting mechanism. Aside from this, we want to enhance the logic for most commented articles. Number of sum up and sum down are taken into consideration. Therefore, the importance of each comment could be differentiated. Now the logic becomes a little bit complicated. Luckily, we decided to keep our design flexible in the first place. By the raw data we collected and the power of Elasticsearch, we could make this happen with minimal efforts. This is how we refine the search and ranking logic. To get popular articles, we will first use filtered query to fetch data from Elasticsearch. As illustrated in the diagram on the left-hand side, originally we used term aggregation to get articles with most common count. On the right-hand side, it's the updated logic. We use scripted matrix aggregation to assign comments with different weight by giving sum up and sum down different score. Map script will first transform sum up to +2 and sum down to -1. We calculate the final weight by reduced script. In this way, we could provide the most common articles with best quality. When it comes to testing, the challenges remain. Given the fact that there will be large of user action logs and the sequence or combination will be pretty dynamic, it makes feature verification almost impossible to rely on manual tests. Therefore, our QA team members implement an automatic integration test script. It will simulate user actions and will validate the popular articles generated by trending service. The script is set up in Jenkins, and alert will be sent out if the output is not the same as expected. Finally, we use Gatling to examine the robustness and scalability of our system. It's an open source load testing framework. It helps us to understand system bottleneck and help us do performance tuning. Before production release, it's also important to build up monitoring mechanism to make sure our service components are doing their work properly. We don't hesitate to reuse the mechanism provided by the company. In line cooperation, there are different kinds of tools ready, such as IMON or Insight. They provide monitoring and alert from system to application level. RabbitMQ and Elasticsearch provide web interface, and a lot of system metrics could be referenced. It's convenient to check status by demand. However, a more proactive approach is required to prevent things go wrong. A health check script is written to send out alert when certain metrics exceed pre-configured threshold. The script integrates with RabbitMQ management API and Elasticsearch cluster-related API to detect abnormal situations like queue size keep growing or cluster member is not responsive. Here is our example for our methodology of development. In the end of talk, Marco will give you a summary for the spirit of Global Line News team. Let's welcome him.
Thank you, Rita. It's hard to share all learning from in the short time. So I would like to highlight the benefit we got from Agile development. The benefit is that we can always face to changing market and react to the issue very quickly and no side effect. Here's a real case just happened last month. We released version 2.2. We found the business KPI dropped down 30%. Our developer and QA monitored the metrics and notified planner immediately. After investigation, they found that it's caused by product design. The user behavior is not the same with planner's prediction before. Then all the developers started to contribute ideas, provide short-term and long-term solution together. The short-term solution was released within 3 days. After release, everything go back to normal immediately and keep growing. If we are not an Agile team with team spirit, you could imagine that there might be just fighting back and forth, but no solution. We can do this since we have team spirit and good practice to reduce risk and maintain good quality. This is our sharing, and we follow line engineering culture, trust, and respect to build our engineering team and development team. That's my sharing. Thank you.